Here's a collection of actual crimes committed by really dumb criminals. Just sit back and enjoy the insanity as we present. Stupid crime stories you just won't believe. In 2012, an Arizona man committed armed robbery at two convenience stores during the night. Witnesses spotted him running through the neighborhood, hopping fences while being pursued by police. One man said he was letting out his dogs and wondered why they were barking. He then saw the suspect running through his neighbor's yard. At some point in the chase, officers lost the armed man in the darkness. However, they stayed on the scene and continued searching for hours. Knowing police were still in pursuit, the suspect chose to wait it out. But since he was also tired of running, he decided to find a secluded spot and take a nap. And this is where a homeowner found him. He was sleeping under some bushes behind the house. Police were called and the sleepy bandit was arrested without incident. So thanks to the Sandman, an armed robber was taken off the streets. He was charged with 2 counts of armed robbery. In 2017, a burglar broke into a home in Ohio late at night. While inside, he found $200 in cash. But apparently he had also worked up an appetite, so he entered the kitchen to find something to eat. After searching around, he grabbed some cheese sticks and French fries. He then cooked them in the microwave. Next, he poured himself a glass of chocolate milk, sat at the table, and ate his free meal. But apparently after eating, he got very tired. So he took a nap right at the kitchen table. If you think this was pretty bold, it gets even more shocking. It turns out that the residents were home the whole time. The woman was asleep on the couch and her boyfriend was sleeping in the bedroom. She told police that her boyfriend got up around 3 a.m. and saw the man asleep at the table. Now just imagine his initial reaction. He sees a man asleep in the kitchen and his girlfriend asleep on the couch. She said he woke her up and wanted to know who this other man was in their home. Of course, she had no idea as she didn't even know he was there. The couple then called police. When officers arrived, they found the man still asleep at the table. As they looked around, they could see that he had been eating. Obviously, he had been there a long time. Officers woke up the intruder and questioned him. He told them he only had 1 beer and didn't know how he got so messed up. He also admitted that he was fully aware that he had entered the wrong house. He managed to get inside through a back door. Since he got in so quietly, the door was probably unlocked. The couple said the man was a total stranger and they have no idea why he randomly chose their house. According to police, he didn't even live in the area. They were shocked at how easily he was able to move around in their home and cook a meal without waking anyone. The woman said she is a very light sleeper, but heard nothing, even though the man was just a few feet away from where she was sleeping. Harrison police arrested 33-year-old Adam Fillers. While searching him, one of the officers was struck by a needle found in his pocket. So apparently he was doing drugs as well. Fillers was charged with burglary, intoxication, possession of drug paraphernalia, and disorderly conduct. He was being held on $10,000 bond. In 2014, a Texas man who was clearly drunk broke into Hudson Meats at 5:30 a.m. on a Saturday. This is a deer processing facility that also sells various cuts of meats. Surveillance video shows the man attempting to break down the front door of the business. After about 20 minutes, he finally gains entry. Once inside, he enters a walk-in freezer, takes some sausages, and leaves the building. But for some odd reason, he returns to the scene of the crime. Once he is back inside the meat shop, he grabs a coat and enters a back office. He then walked over to a reclining chair, placed his feet up on a desk, covers himself with the coat, and falls asleep. 90 minutes later, at about 7 a.m., an employee arrived for the morning shift. That's when they noticed the broken front door. Upon entering inside, they found the man still sleeping in the chair. The employee promptly called Austin police. Officers arrived and woke up 28-year-old Ricardo Cardona. He told officers that he had been out drinking that night. Hudson Meats confirmed that nothing was stolen. According to the store manager, Cardona didn't touch the register or any money. In fact, he was so drunk he didn't even get to eat the sausages that he grabbed from the cooler. Police said they didn't believe he wanted to steal from the business. Rather, they think he was just drunk and looking for somewhere to sleep. Cardona was charged with criminal trespassing. The store owner says insurance money paid for a replacement door. In 2017, a customer walked into a Jimmy John's sandwich shop in Kansas City, Missouri. After staring at their menu on the wall, he placed his order. But once the cashier took his request, things quickly changed. It turns out the man wasn't there to buy a sandwich. In fact, he wasn't even a customer. He was an armed robber who only wanted the cash. Here is the interaction as seen on the security video. As you can see, the man pretends to be placing an order. He then reaches into the front pocket of his sweatshirt. But instead of pulling out money, he takes out a gun and tells the cashier to open the register. At one point you can see him even threatening the manager who is just off camera. Amazingly, the employee remained calm throughout the whole ordeal. In contrast, the robber appears quite agitated despite having the full cooperation of the victims. The cashier later said that he wasn't intimidated by the gunman. The gun that the suspect was using was reportedly jammed. He said if he had known the gun was jammed, he would have tried to grab it. The suspect initially asked what type of cheese they had. He then whispered to the cashier to open the cash drawer. But when he took too long, the man pointed the gun to his head. That's when you see his manager motion to the robber that they would give him the money. Actually, he did the right thing by handing over the cash since it was all caught on surveillance video anyway. No need to be a hero. Just give them the money and go home to your family. Let the police handle the situation. And that's exactly what they did. Police arrested 54-year-old Terry Rayford the very next day after a retired Kansas City police major recognized him from the video. He notified police who stopped Rayford in a vehicle and recovered 2 handguns. In addition to the Jimmy John's robbery, he was charged with an armed carjacking on the same day. Since Rayford was on parole in Missouri for another armed robbery, he was also charged with being a felon in possession of a firearm. He later told investigators he was committing robberies to pay off his drug dealer. He also said that he had considered violating his parole so he could complete his prison sentence. Why would he do this? Well, he claimed that his parole conditions were too hard to follow. So why not just go back to prison? Well, looks like he got his wish as he faces up to 10 years in a federal prison and a $250,000 fine. Be sure to like and subscribe to this channel. Our weekly videos will feature such topics as stupid crime stories, classic TV, and the real stories behind popular songs from the past and present. There will be even more categories as we continue to grow.